Okay. Uh, Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. On this lovely afternoon here in Mumbai. I am in Mumbai and I have a lovely afternoon in front of me. I have been told that it is raining cats and dogs over there in Delhi, and that all the streets are filled with float Sam and Jet Sam. And what other better way to spend an afternoon, a rainy afternoon for Delhi rather than at a Toastmasters meeting? And welcome everybody to Toastmaster Club of Storytellers, and this is the 93rd meeting. And I am the Sergeant at Arms of today's meeting. My job is to handle the logistics and open the meeting. To officially start the meeting, I want to note that this meeting will be recorded and shared amongst the members for study and self-reflection. Some parts may also be used for promotional material later. So don't reveal company secrets here, or don't reveal any. Don't complain about your boss or about your mother-in-law or any such place which can come to bite you later, because all of this will be recorded and remembered forever. In order to have a smooth meeting, here are some ground rules. Please put yourself on mute when you're not speaking. Don't interrupt while somebody else is speaking. Be attentive throughout the meeting and support the speakers with warm smiles and claps. Also, please try to put your noise making devices on silent mode, so that, or at least put yourself on mute if you're not speaking. Try to keep your cameras on, because if somebody is speaking, it's it's really difficult to, especially if you're a beginner, to speak naturally if you feel like nobody's listening. And with that said, let's have a great meeting. And to carry forward the meeting, I would like to please welcome our club president, Toastmaster Mehak. Please come onto the virtual podium, Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Sergeant Camps, Toastmaster Arjun, for such a warm welcome. Greetings, my dear Toastmasters and dear guests. I welcome you all to the 93rd meeting of Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. Here, I conduct the meeting open. Before starting with the meeting, here is a small announcement for all the members of the club. I would request you all to please renew the membership fees for the term October to March. As you know that renewals are around the corner. So I would request everyone to renew now and continue your leadership journey with Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. Moving ahead, I want you all to answer a very general question. What was your why of joining a Toastmasters club? Why did you all join our club? Well, think about in your mind, why did you join the club? Why did you wanted to join Toastmasters? And in the end, reflect upon that, have you achieved that goal while you are here in Toastmasters? Till that time, we would first like to invite our guest from the meeting. First, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Anusha to please speak a few words about herself. Toastmaster Anusha. I guess she's facing some network issues. Let's move on to our another guest, guest Vishal, to please introduce himself to the members of the club. Vishal, the stage is yours. Please, would you like to introduce yourself to the members? That's okay, I guess. Let's move ahead and let's invite our Toastmaster of the day to let us know what is our why of joining Toastmasters. Let us invite Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepti Sani, with a round of an applause.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam President. So good afternoon, everybody. For the session today, I want you all to take out your pen papers or your notepads or your phones and open an editor and write down one skill that you wanted to learn. It could be anything. It could be a soft skill. It could be a hard skill, any skill that you wanted to learn. And I'll especially request the guests to do that. Or non-Toastmasters yet. So welcome aboard, Leena and Vishal. And Anusha ma'am is already a Toastmaster. I'll time it. I'll give you 30 seconds to think, reflect, and write down any one skill. After 30 seconds are up, I want you to type it in the chat box. Only after 30 seconds. So when I say time up, that is when you paste it on the chat box. Time up. Please start pasting whatever skill you've always wanted to learn in the chat box. Writing skills, people management, public speaking, dance, negotiating with cops. All right, so have I received a response from everybody? Lokesh sir, waiting for yours. Anusha ma'am. Yes, okay, that's a Toastmaster. Leena, a skill that you wanted to learn always? Public speaking from Lavina, Leena, Lavina, and Vishal. We waiting for your, okay. So Lokesh sir wants leadership. Okay, great. So while we wait for skills from Leena ma'am and Anusha ma'am, we'll proceed. Now there's a reason why I asked you to write down these skills. So throughout the meeting, we'll pick up one skill and see how Toastmasters can help you achieve, or is it already helping you achieve? That is what the agenda or the main theme of the meeting going to be. And before we end the meeting, I will bring forth to you some faces who have actually achieved something or the other after joining Toastmasters. I'm sure it might not be a revelation or a realization for quite or some people out of the group, but for the other few, it might just be a revelation because we don't know what we are doing outside Toastmasters and how we're taking Toastmasters out of what we're learning here. Okay. So before we proceed further, let me tell you for the benefit of the guests, how the structure of the meeting is divided. Our meeting typically is divided into three segments: the prepared speeches, the impromptu table topic session, and the evaluation section. We have two speeches today in our prepared speeches section. Always prepared speeches are tied to an objective. So while Mehak, our first speaker, has proceeded on her pathway, she has a specific objective. We will have Toastmaster Uma delivering her icebreaker speech today. An icebreaker means the very first speech. And let me also remind you that whenever somebody delivers an icebreaker speech, we give a standing ovation. Now, since we are in a virtual meeting and we are all seated, we can at least unmute and applaud. That is what I would request everybody to do. All right. So with that, let us start with our prepared speeches section. In the prepared speeches, first we'll have Toastmaster Mehak deliver her speech, but thank you, Toastmaster Diptendu. I have to invite you, our general evaluator, on stage. So, inviting Diptendu.
Thank you so much, Deepthi. So, just as in a cricket match, there is a match referee who is assisted by two on field umpires and a third umpire. Here at Toastmasters or in a Toastmasters meeting, we have got a general evaluator. The general evaluator looks at the preparedness of the role players, the execution of the roles by role players, at the overall operation of the meeting, and about the conduct of the meeting attendees. The general evaluator is assisted by three role players, which are the tag role players, the timer, the hour counter, and the grammarian. For today's meeting, we have three wonderful role players with us. Let us welcome them and listen about role explanations from them. First up, timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Mehak. I request you to take the stage and explain the role.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for the day. Greetings, everyone. I am going to play the role of the timer for the meeting today, wherein I'm going to time the different role players, speakers, and the table topic speakers as well. For the speech section, I'm going to time in 5 to 7 minutes and 4 to 6 minutes speech, as there is an icebreaker speech as well. So at 4 minutes, I will show the green card. Here I'm sharing my screen. I will show the green card. At 4 minutes, at 5 minutes, I will show the red card. At 5 minutes, I will show the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I will show the red card till the time the speaker stops speaking. For the table topic segment, I will first, at 1 minute, I will show the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will show the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will show the red card. In table topic segment, 30 seconds will be given on the upper side. That will be my role. I will present my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you so much. Back to you, the General Evaluator for the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak. We'll move on now and to the all important role of the hour counter. And today's hour counter is going to be Toastmaster Arjun.
Uh, uh, mm, one of the one of the one of the most irritating colleagues that I have had is one of the sweetest persons ever that I knew, but he has this annoying habit of stopping in the middle of a sentence and thinking. For example, he will say something like, uh, and then he will continue. And even though he's a very nice person to as, but it's like I don't want to hear him talk because I'm it's just too irritating. And from him, I really learned the importance of at least you pause in between sentences. You think a lot of time before you frame something, like how all the speech makers do it, but don't pause in the middle of a sentence, please, because it is very irritating. And so that to help your speeches have that quality, we have an R counter in Masters, which I will give you a report at the end of the day. Like if you use like so, my old boss used to use actually a lot, actually, like as a crutch word. Any kinds of crutch word that you use, all these things. There are some people who can give effective speeches without them, but you should try to remove as many as you can. Some you cannot remove. For example, I still have a lot of hours on pauses and everywhere, but I still like to think, yeah, I am somewhat okay. So just try the best you can, and I'll come back with my report on the number of hours and fetch words and filler words I use at the end of the
Fabulous. Thank you, Toastmaster Arjun. And now we'll hear from the grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Lavina.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Hello, scholars and my dear guests. As a grammarian, I am responsible for taking a note of usages of language and rules, and also noting down the bad usages of language and the not so good usages of language. I will be making sure that at the end, when I present my report, I will be appreciating the good usages throughout.
Lavina, Lavina, I have to interrupt you there because we are not able to listen to you clearly. Is it possible to just adjust the mic such that we are able to hear the words
Is it
coming
now?
from you?
Yeah. Is it better now?
Much better, much better. Please can you repeat the role introduction?
Yeah. So, as a grammarian, I am responsible for listening carefully and closely monitoring the good usage and the bad usage of English language throughout, and listening carefully to all the speakers. And as a grammarian, I would also be introducing the word of the day. So for today, today's meeting, the word of the day is sequestration. Which means that the process of extracting some uh, as- some things out of the environment, or maybe oceans or any terrestrial environment. Which this word is usually used nowadays to highlight the process of removal of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, since it is leading to global warming. And for example, we can use it as an example, we can make a sentence of the word as in the latest carbon sequestration project is being launched in India. So that's about the word of the day. I repeat, it is sequestration. I would appreciate if users try to use it in their speeches, and I would appreciate if you have any as in confusion regarding this, you can ping me around it. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lavina. So you just heard from the auxiliary role players, the timer, our counter, and the grammarian. We will continue with the rest of the meeting now. I hand the virtual stage back to Toastmaster Deepti.
Thank you. Okay, so now that we have the skills on the chat, which skill, and everybody can unmute and let me know, okay, which is the skill that you feel is not, we will not be able to achieve it through Toastmasters? Any skill that you feel? How about dance?
Yeah, dance and also mountaineering.
Okay, let's pick up dance first.
Mm.
All right. Who thinks dance cannot be achieved? The skill or honing skills in dance. Okay, Arjun says it's not possible at Toastmasters. Everybody else thinks it is possible. Wow. I love that confidence. Okay, then I want to hear, how do you think it's possible? Mehek, an idea. How do you think dance is possible through Toastmasters?
After watching the team Dil Jale, I think anything is possible now.
Okay, so at the All Toastmasters meet and at the Resonance, we had a team of Toastmasters who performed supposedly a slow dance. That is the in thing these days. Okay, where they have slow movement for every upbeat song, and they call themselves Team Dil Jale. So they performed on songs, and yes, they danced. So Mehek has complete faith in Team Dil Jale.
And now they're international performers. They went to Nepal as well.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. What else? How do you think, Renu ma'am?
Yes, yeah, Dipti.
So how would you think dance
it can be
possible?
achieved. Of course, it can be achieved, because in the physical meetings when we were there, after every meeting, or sometime when we meet occasionally, or we were performing something, or some special occasions were there, we used to dance and enjoy a lot. We will be performing a certain numbers as well. So it was not at all possible for me, because I could not, despite my hardest effort, I could not learn that.
Yes.
But yes, at least I could learn a bit.
Yes, that's right. So all in a nutshell, dance is possible. Why? Because in all our Toastmasters events, okay, we have a cultural section, right? That is where Toastmasters are encouraged to not only showcase their talents in dance, in music, in instrument playing, in delivering or writing poems, any field or facet that you think you're good at, even stand-up comedy. You can grab those 10 minutes, and it's a safe environment. It's a safe stage, right? Nobody is assessing you. They're just enjoying what you're doing. So this year at Resonance, we not only had Team Diljale, which were the fun part, we also had classical dance from Nepal. If a few of you attended that cultural evening section, yeah, so we had that. And we ourselves performed as part of Division P, isn't it? We sung and people had to bear us, right? So anything is possible in terms of skill or such creative or cultural skills at Toastmasters. Okay, on that note, let's start with our prepared speeches. So first off, we will have Toastmaster Mehak deliver her speech. But before inviting Toastmaster Mehak on the stage, let me invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Lukesh, to please read out Toastmaster Mehak's objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepti. I'll quickly bring the objectives. So it's a level 2 speech 2, and it's all about body language. The purpose of this statement, the speech is to understand how you deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how she uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. Back to you, Toastmaster Deepti.
Thank you so much, Lukesh sir. Mehak, since you were playing the timer, I will time your speech. And is it okay if I write green or green, yellow, and red in the chat, or would you want me to share the screen?
Right in the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you. So let's do a quick audio video check for you, Mehak. Do your placement and let me know. You ready? Okay, so you can say, it's a lovely afternoon today.
Lovely afternoon today.
Okay. Okay. So Toastmaster Mehak, a sunset like oranges and flames like tears. A sunset like oranges and flames like tears. Toastmaster Mehak.
Help! 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 I gasped for breath. Just when I heard them say, "Ma'am, we are on our way." People gathered outside your house. It was the beginning of the most terrifying night because my house was on fire. Greetings, dear storytellers, my fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. How many of you have been trapped in a situation of fire? Or rather, let me put it correct. How many of you have been trapped in a situation of fire with so many emotional fools? Oops, I shouldn't be saying this to my family. Well, being among the 10% of the population, I certainly am the privileged one who has got this opportunity. Do you want to experience my pain? So picture this. It's 12:30 at night. My sisters and I were having the best night out. Sam was listening to music. Sai was watching reels and I was playing on my iPad. We were even planning to watch a movie tonight. Isn't this exciting? Well, that excitement did not last very much. As suddenly, there was a knock on the door. One of our neighbors came rushing downstairs, and what he said came as a shock to all of us. "Fire! Fire! Fire! Call the ambulance!" My mother. "Ambulance? Oh, mom, he is saying fire ambulance." From the background, I heard my grandmother saying, "Ki ho gaya? Ki ho gaya? Kithe lag gaya? What happened? What happened? Where is the fire?" Well, she quickly went out in the balcony to see what was happening. And till the time she went out, we tried and moved to the opposite side of the house to elope the building. Well, we quickly called her in. She froze there, standing and thinking what her next step should be, whether to jump off the building or to use the washroom. But thank God she made the right decision. We quickly gathered in the washing area of her house. My father, being the macho man, thought of jumping off the building. And we, the cheerleaders of his life, were totally not cheering him up for his this decision. But finally, God appeared in front of us in the form of Bittu and Babu, our two neighbors, with a ladder in one hand. And with the help of that ladder, we all landed safely in the open ground. Except my mother and grandma. They were still hanging upstairs. I still don't know what kind of smoky party they were having together. Meanwhile, my youngest sister started crying. Minnie, can we go upstairs again? To mom. Come on, Sam, we have enough drama tonight. Period. Well, soon all the members were evacuated safely and securely. Fire brigade, as usual, was late, but at the end, it was emotions that saved the day for all of us. That night, I realized that life is not a bed of roses, nor is it a bed of thorns. Because how can life end with just one kind of emotion when there are a roller coaster of emotions? In that 1 hour, we experienced thousands of emotions altogether. Be it the fear of losing everything, the joy of being alive, the confusion, the horror, the pain, the suffering, the anxiety, and the list goes on and on and on. We realized at that moment that emotions were the lifesavers at that time of crisis. They helped us avoid danger because emotions can prepare the body to take action. They helped us make our decisions. Your emotions have a major impact and influence on the decision you make in your life. From deciding to call the ambulance on time and to finally evacuating the building. It was because of the decision that was be able to make. Emotions can motivate you to act. They can help and provide you with motivation so that you could save your life. After that, our dearest hope was to lose all the hope at that time. The smell of that fire is something I will never forget. It was not the cozy smell of the bonfire, but the smell of the household appliances melting, the plastic melting, and the toxic cloud of our life disintegrating. Nothing in life prepared me for what all happened. Yet my fight or flight instincts. At the end of the day, I realized that I never loved myself in my whole life and the people in my whole life that I did after fire. Therefore, I will own much less stuff in my new life. I will continue to feel that I love myself because it is easy to get lost in the chaos of the crisis. But it's actually your chance to think about yourself and think what matters to you. It can be hard to not to focus on the things and the worries occupying your mind. But one thing that remains constant is the love to live life. Love to live life. In the end, it was the emotion of hope that I was able to see a rising sun safely and securely with my family the next morning. I shall long to see the miseries of the world as long as I am powerful enough to face all the worries. Toastmaster of the day.
Wow, what a roller coaster ride you took us with yourself, Mehak. I think I'm never going to forget the way you shared everything about that incident. And I'm sure you would yourself never forget about it. I urge everybody to please share their feedback or their thoughts with Mehak, either on her personal chat or with everyone, however you're comfortable. I'll give you 30 seconds for that. All right, time up. Thank you. So before we move on to our next speaker, let us talk about mountaineering, right? That's what Arjun said, isn't it? That's a skill we can't achieve at Toastmasters, right? Yeah? Okay. Anybody who would want to defy that or give us ideas how, if at all we want to achieve, how do we achieve it? Any ideas? Okay. Let me give you another question. Have you ever thought that we could gain running skills in Toastmasters? Right. 16th October is the Delhi Half Marathon. And who's going there, you know? Toastmasters. So Toastmasters are reaching out and they're forming a group. Soon everybody will get to know via District 41 groups that they're participating as a team. They'll register as a team for the Delhi Half Marathon. So runners out there, if you can develop running skills with Toastmasters, I'm sure there'll be one mountaineer who would want to start that momentum at Toastmasters, and you can feel free to join him or her, whoever it is, isn't it? And if you can't find one and you're interested, please go ahead. There's no stopping. Float messages and you'll get responses. All right, with that, let's move on to our second speaker. Our second speaker is Toastmaster Uma. This is going to be her icebreaker speech. And before inviting her on stage, I'd like to invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Arjun, on the virtual stage. Over to you.
Toastmaster Uma will be attempting her level 1 project 1 speech. This is the icebreaker speech, the first speech that every Toastmaster gives, in which she basically has to talk about herself or about anything she wants to. This is just to introduce herself to our club. And because it is the beginning speech, I will be just giving some feedback on. She just has to give and formulate a speech. That's all. So that is the level 1 project 1. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, evaluator 2, Toastmaster Arjun. So Uma ma'am, let's do an audio video check. And also let me know if you have decided on a title for your speech.
I want to, hello.
Yes,
I want to share screen. I want screen share.
Okay, I'll give you right. Okay. Yes, we can see you. I mean the screen.
Not me, screen.
Both. We can see you and the screen.
Okay.
All right. So do you have a name for your speech? Or can I just call it an icebreaker speech?
This is an icebreak speech.
Okay, sure.
That's what you initially name it. So
Yes,
I kept
yes.
it icebreak speech.
Okay, great. Awesome. So with that, Uma Singh, icebreak speech. Icebreak speech, Uma Singh.
Let's break the ice before it melts. Dear Toastmasters and guests, I'm happy to share the journey of my life, which I divided into two parts. I am a daughter of hardworking and very loving parents, born, brought up, and educated in Delhi. I did graduation in science at school level, followed by BCom and LLB. As big dreams need big plans, and big plans need big action. I did law to be on the right side of law for my big dreams. During my college education, I taught school kids to earn my way through and support my parents. You can't calm the storm, so stop trying. What you can do is calm yourself, the storm will pass. Eventually, took a series of jobs as an officer and got married to my chosen one with consent from my parents. Life took a good turn and soon my daughter was born. When I resumed office after the birth of my child, we had to hire a nanny. The nanny was caught just in time before she fed my daughter with the milk mixed with remnants of broken glass from the thermos, though after sieving it. Alarm bell rang. I realized that I can't trust her with the child. This incident shook me and I decided to leave the job and to be with my little princess. From there on, the journey of entrepreneurship began. I, being the first generation entrepreneur, faced a lot of teething problems. Robinson says, every problem is a gift. Without problem, we would not grow. So first and the easiest option to strike was to start a service by the name of Dial a Wash, which worked out very well and outgrew the resources. This was when the venture capitalists were not involved. Then another idea ignited, that is of leather exports, and Leatherica was born. Leather exports were hit by recession during that time, just about 4 years of start of Leatherica. But you know, a nail penetrates the wall only when hit by hammer. To be successful, you have to use your internal force to penetrate through. Got into the trading industry by taking dealership of electronic typewriters and started the journey of office automation. Network electronic typewriters had a policy of area-wise distribution of sales. So we were allotted Connaught Place. We were given inroads to big enterprises companies. Back then, after a few years, as the industry was upgrading to computers, we saw a spark and silver lining in the field. To put things in perspective, another idea was triggered. Often we are so busy sawing that we forget to sharpen the saw. We paused and thought of sharpening the saw. We got certification for the role of enterprise administrator from Microsoft. Cyberlaw from Indian Law Institute, did my entrepreneurship course from ISB Hyderabad, which was sponsored by Goldman Sachs and held at Delhi's Oberoi Hotel under very special circumstances. That was the infrastructure. Since got a chance to work for Dr. Abdul Kalam at President House. I have worked at IIT Delhi. This assignment was assigned by the Microsoft people. All India Institute of Medical Sciences. We have worked for Delhi High Court, we have digitized their cause list. We have worked for MGF Malls, Insecticides India Limited. We have designed and implemented and centralized their IT infrastructure and helped them in increasing the efficiency and productivity of the company. We have trained the engineers of TCS, Wipro, IBM, and IT in server technologies. With the help of our ISB gang, like minded entrepreneurs, formed an association to give it back to society. We visited old age home, went to drawing and coloring with kids at AIMS Cancer Center, visited blind school to motivate their good work. These are a few of the photographs I'm sharing. We visited blind school to motivate them for good work, and we discussed in detail of computer hardware and let them feel the different parts of computer. Spend time at blind girls hostel. We spent time explaining them different parts of the computers, and we blindfolded ourselves to spend time and experience how they perform their daily course by blindfolding ourselves. And my pillar of strength is my parents, my family,